Welcome to Arts and Crafts with Luba Carlson. Today we continue working with our art journal and promoting peace and relaxation through creating art and focusing more on the process rather than the product. I wanted to show you a couple pages from the previous episodes that I had the time to sit down and finish. So this one was from episode 1, season 2, and as you can see, I added just a few more smaller elements, a lot more words, things that kind of bring this all together for me. I wanted to show you this page to just have an inspiration maybe to see what else you can do with this, especially if you felt like your page maybe was a little bit empty. And I also had the time to go deeper in this page that we created in episode 4. And this was more about putting positive on top of negative and covering it with positive thoughts, inspirational thoughts, maybe some quotes. So here also I took the time and I just took my white marker and I just wrote down things that make me happy and added little elements like little dash lines or maybe little circles. You can do whatever you like with these pages. You can make them as busy or as empty as you like, but it really does help to maybe take a few more minutes out of your day and maybe just put one thing in and then do some other thing the next day. It doesn't have to be done in one sitting. Today's theme is gratitude, and we are going to create a grateful heart inspired page. For that page, we will obviously need the journal that we'll be using, and I'll be using some scrapbook paper that I had in my drawers, glue stick, and I also have some pens, some gel pens that I'll be using for writing. I wanted to show you one little trick that you can do. It's pretty cool if you have water pens, or you can use any brush with that, but I'll show it to you just in a second. So my first step would be to choose a couple colors of paper that I will tear into the shapes of hearts and circles. So I have like a little bit of purple. I want to do something that's not busy, not patterned colors. I think patterns are a little bit too busy for what I'm trying to do here. So let's see. Let's see what kind of colors. I really like this green. That's kind of, I really, really like this kind of more like olive green. So I'm gonna use that. Let's see what else I have. Oh, that's perfect. That's a great color combination. So I'll do this, and maybe let's go back. There was something neutral in here that I could use. That would be a good color too. Yeah, this one. All right, so if you're just trying to tear off circles or hearts, and absolutely, yes, you can use scissors if you'd rather use scissors, there's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of hard to shape the heart or a circle by just tearing the paper. Here is a little trick. You can use a brush. If you're using a regular brush, put it in the water, make sure that it's full with water, and then you simply create that shape with water. You're kind of drawing it with water, and what this does, you're gonna go quite a few times over it. It will help break the paper a little bit. It'll loosen it up for you, so that when you're going, I squeezed a whole lot of water here so that you can see what's happening. Okay, so that when we're going to tear it, the paper is not going to resist too much. It will just do what we want it to do. And we want to create quite a few hearts and quite a few circles. I would probably go with 7 and 7. It'll probably take a little bit of time, but okay, so here we are, and look how easy this is to just go, and look, just on where it was wet, it just lets me tear out a heart. How easy is that? So I'm continue. I'm gonna make, let's see, I think I'm gonna make, what am I thinking? I said I want 7, right? So maybe I'll do 2 of these, and then I'll get maybe 2 green ones and 3 orange, or maybe the other way around. It doesn't really matter. It will work this way or the other. If you're watching this and you're working alongside with me, it would be a great time to play some relaxing music if you want, if that's something that you like to listen to. Just enjoy the process. Watch your breathing, right? Don't forget to breathe, because sometimes we get so focused on what we're doing that we forget to breathe. We don't want to do that. We need your breathing, right? Okay. Oh, there's a little piece. Okay. Now let's get this one in. And I'm making them pretty good size. I don't think, I used to have a ruler here, but I don't think I have it anymore. I would say probably these hearts would be 3 inches. Okay, you want to make them good size so that you can write in them. If they're super small, they make great decoration, but it's really hard to write in them. Okay, and looks like this piece of paper has a little bit more of this glossy coating on it that they put on paper sometimes to protect it. You can see the water is kind of beading on it and it doesn't want to get in. So I have to go back and kind of rub it in a little bit harder just to make sure that it breaks up the fibers and I can do what I want to do with this. I'll probably do the 3rd one right away so that it just keeps going. Yep, this piece of paper is not very happy with me. Look at that, it's just beading up. Interesting that it came from the same pack of paper. Okay, and so while we're doing this, I want you to ask yourself, what is it that you're grateful for? Gratitude is not just, a good habit to have. People who practice gratitude regularly show signs of better sleep. They are just happier overall because the focus switches from everyday stress to noticing more of good things. Gratitude kind of connects you to your inner self that is happier in general. And so if you can practice that a little bit more often, you will see much better results in your overall outlook on life. And of course it makes sense that those are gratitude hearts, right? Because we always say grateful heart. Okay. Oh, this is drying so fast. Let's make sure that it's still a little bit damp. I don't know. I just think it's so cool that you can just do that with water and then rip out the pieces that you want, any shape you like. There we go. Okay, and I want two more. Oh boy, let's see. Is this paper going to fight me, or is it? Yep, this is also also has that kind of coat on it. So if you are dealing with paper like this, all you have to do is to kind of keep rubbing your brush on it, keep adding water and keep rubbing your brush. It will get through eventually. Might take like, maybe an extra 30 seconds to do that, but it will get there. There we go. I'm sure, as I said, what are you grateful for? You came up with probably something, right? But I want to challenge you and try and think, what else? What else is there that brings our gratitude in? What are the good things in life that you're grateful for? Try and focus on that while you're working on the hearts and the circles. Just keep asking yourself. Okay, and the answers, they really don't need to be anything hard or like profound, They can be as simple as, I'm grateful for my dogs. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for having food in the refrigerator or having a refrigerator. One of my favorites in my first gratitude journal from, I don't know, from years ago. It just had a statement on the page and it said, I'm grateful for my dishwasher. And you know what? I really am. I don't think I appreciate those things enough until they break. And then all of a sudden, it's like, what happened? All of a sudden, my life got so much harder just because the dishwasher broke. Here we go. See, it's drying very fast. The paper is drying very fast, so I just go back and put a little bit more water on it just to make sure that I can go and get that shape out. There we go. Come on. Work with me. There we go. Okay, so these are going to be the hearts I want to use. Let's see how much space they take. maybe like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to, I have an extra heart. I wanted 7, but I think 6 look better. You know what? I'm just gonna stick with 6 then. I really like how that looks. Okay, we're gonna keep that. And then let's create a couple of circles. I'm gonna try and put water on the white side of this paper and see maybe this will work better. I don't know. But it looks like it gets through, the water gets through the paper a little bit better. Does it? Yep. All right, not quite a circle, but it's a circle. We'll just go with that. We'll just say that that's a circle. Maybe one. Let's get more water on that brush. It gets through right away. Okay. Okay, let's see how this is going. Kind of like this. And maybe here. And then maybe this heart will get a bubble. And this one will get a bubble. Let's do a couple more. Let's do 6 altogether again. Okay, and we're still thinking, right? We're still thinking, what are we going to put on those hearts and those bubbles? What is the gratitude? And your gratitude can be based on something that's today. It could be based on something that is happening in your life, like a regular thing that just keeps happening. Okay, 2 more. 2 more, bear with me. I'm gonna try and make these a little bit bigger, just for the fun of it. Here. Oh, look at that, it just came out. Oh, how fun. This purplish bluish paper worked the best for the water trick. It just comes out like that, perfect. Okay, got all of these now. Okay, let's glue them together. So here's my plan. I would like to have green here and on this one, and then orange goes on those, and the little blue spots will go like somewhere here. Do I like them like that? I don't know. What if we rearrange them somehow? Let's move them around and see what happens, so that maybe they're not as, what am I trying to say here? Not as controlled, maybe like this will help us to make them a little bit looser, hopefully, maybe, let's see. So if this heart shows this way, maybe this one should be this way. And then maybe here, or here, like that. I I think this looks good. Yes, okay, glue stick. Trusty, old trusty glue stick. Go. So about glue sticks, I think I talked about glue sticks in the first season, but that doesn't really matter. I like to use this permanent glue stick because it really does hold things together for a journal like this. It really does work very well. I don't really like using school glue at all because very often it would hold for like, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks, and then things are just starting to fall off, and that's not good. I do not want my journal falling apart if I'm, when I open it and go through my pages and then things just start to fall out. Unless they are meant to be falling out, which sometimes it's by design, because we just put things in like that. All right, we have all our spots. And there's so much you can do with this page, so much. So the very first thing is exactly what we talked about, which would be writing our gratitude in. And you can use any pencils, pens, markers, whatever works for you. I'm gonna stick with my gel pens over here. And so maybe start with this one and write my very first statement. So you can write like this, or you can turn it and just write along the heart side like that, okay? So maybe we could say, I am grateful. Oh, that's my Slinky. Oh my gosh, that's the paper. It's a little bit too glossy. Okay. I am grateful for my family. Okay, and yes, there is room left, so you can either extend your writing in here, or maybe you could doodle something right in the middle. I will just doodle a little flower and just leave it like that. There, I'm grateful for my family. And I can go around and fill in every heart with the gratitude, with all my things that I would like to add to this book. And then also, if, let's say, I'm having a creative block, which happens a lot, and I'm looking at the hearts and there is nothing coming to my head, I'm thinking, I know there are things I'm grateful for, but I just can't think of them right now. Something is not letting them through. Well, at that point, I will just grab some colorful pens and start maybe adding some, like maybe trace those hearts a couple times. Okay, you don't have to stick to the same color. You can use different colors. I knew I missed one. There we are. Okay, if you're thinking that maybe you just wanted to write in the hearts but not in the dots, you can turn those dots into something. I really love those like cute doodly flowers. So you could go in the center and like add a circle and then add another circle and then add another circle. Okay, and then maybe break this circle into parts. I am just dividing it like you would do a clock into 4 and then dividing in between. Okay, and like maybe would be fun to put a dot inside or something. You can even, if you feel happy and maybe that's your thing, you could do a little heart or a little smiley face on the inside. And then we can add lines again, divide in 4 and then in half. Each section goes in half and then divide each section again, just like that. Okay? And then you're just going around each line, around each little stick, and adding little petals, just like that. And it creates a super cute doodle flower. You can add as many details or as few details as you like. But as you're doing that, you take your mind off of the stress of having to think of something. And all of a sudden, something comes up and you can think of something else that you would like to add to the heart. I am very excited for you to fill out this page, and I will see you in the next episode where we'll be doing something different. Till next time.